They both line up around that arc, and of course the Hokies kind of go inside out with Kitley, but you're going to see a lot of three-point shots tonight. It should be fun.
Well, into the center to get it started. Liz Kitley, the Player of the Year. 2 games here today from Castle Coliseum. The women start the season, and the man on the other side in the opening tip is won by Virginia Tech.
Yeah, both these teams have a few transfers that we're going to call their names a lot tonight too, Zach.
Georgia Amoore at the top to get it started, the point guard. Those transfers getting work right away. Here's a right wing 3 right through, and it's Virginia Tech who strikes first. Cayla King.
Hokie fans have seen that a lot. A senior, played in high school with Liz Kitley. She's developed into a great defender, but she's got that trademark three-point shot, Cayla King.
Get the starting 5 over there for the Mount. Harrison, we featured her in the beginning. She is the scorer, but right now the ball down inside to Hunt. 8 seconds to find a shot. And laying it off this side of the rim, the Mount strike with Natalie Villaflor getting her 2.
Yeah, the transfer from Robert Morris is a really versatile player. She's going to be a tough matchup for the Hokies.
Talking to some of those players for the Mount as this one's stolen down inside. They said keep an eye on Villaflor. She's really impressed some during the first couple of weeks of the preseason. There's Coach Kenny Brooks, 7th season here, and by far the best team he's got on paper, the number 13 team in the country.
They just keep getting better every single season he's here, and the player development has been unbelievable. And we'll talk about that a lot tonight, too.
Here's King trying for another. And that time it's off the mark, won't go. And a rebound down inside for the Mount. Virginia Tech still with that 1-point lead. Both these two teams struggling to be able to find it to get through the basket that time. Kitley coming away with another rebound going the other way. Owusu, too hard off the side of the rim.
That didn't convert, but you're going to see a lot more fast breaks for Virginia Tech because they have more players that can run and more depth on this basketball team than Kenny Brooks has had in his 7 years here in Blacksburg.
Back a minute and a half, a little sloppy, a couple of misses, that kind of feeling it out here early on, do you see?
Oh, you talking about us or the teams?
Well, both. A little bit of both.
No, even though these teams are experienced teams, everybody's in a new role.
There's a left wing 3 again. King this time a little too hard off the side. She's now 1 for 3 from 3 in this ball game. Loses the handle that time. This Tomasetti. Too hard out of bounds. Coach Antoine White for the Mount in just his 2nd season, taking them to a couple of NCAA tournaments. Really nice job with this group now.
Yeah, he got his chance as a head coach, and he's 1 for 1 going to the NCAA. I don't know if I hope he doesn't think it's going to be this easy all the time, but he did a great job last year. Didn't finish that high during the regular season. Got on a roll, won the conference tournament, and played against Longwood in the first 4 on the women's side.
Great defense out of King. That knocks this one out of bounds as Harrison was trying to drive to the dish to get her first 2.
Yeah, I talked about Cayla King. Everybody knows she's a great shooter, but she has developed into an incredible defender, and she was not that when she got here. This is something that Kenny Brooks and his staff have developed. She's a really cerebral defender, but tough as nails, too. She'll usually guard the best perimeter player on the other team, and she's matched up with Harrison here tonight.
Harrison will restart it at the top. Just 7 seconds to find a shot here. The Mount will throw it up. Harrison gets nothing that time, and the basketball back over to Virginia Tech. Georgia Amoore. Coach Kenny Brooks calls her his mini-me. The point guard at the top gets it knocked over to the hands of Taylor Soule.
Playing with more and more confidence.
Is the drive inside, and a whistle coming. The first whistle of today's ball game.
And Trailer has done this a lot. Shot fake and get to the hole. She's really explosive with that first step. That was a big part of the Hokies offense a year ago, and I'm sure it will be again this year.
Well, slow to get up now. The Mount with a player down to the ground. We're talking about Taylor, what she can do coming off the bench. She could potentially be someone who they see as a 6th player in this league of the year.
Yeah, when you know that a team. You know a team is good when you've got an all Big Ten player coming off the bench. Cayla Trailer, of course, started a year ago, can play one or two with that left hand, and we talked about the fact that she gives the Hokies a different dimension. She can get to the hole as well as shoot the basketball from the perimeter too.
Started in 10 of those 32 games last year. I think a left ankle injury down.
Yeah, and both coaches mentioned the fact that they thought they could have really good years, but one big key was going to be to stay healthy, and hopefully this is not something serious for Jada Lee.
Jada Lee, who appeared in 28 of the 29 contests last season, coming off the bench, and just barely able to put any weight on that left ankle. That's going to be a tough loss. I know, talking with Coach White, we said, what's a win coming out of this game? You want to win the basketball game, but you also want to be able to get out of here healthy early on. And not going to be pleased if Lee has a nagging injury that continues as that free throw is through for Taylor.
A really challenging week, and Coach White did that on purpose, playing at Virginia Tech and then at Richmond and then at NC State. That would be a tough week for anybody.
You joked with him. You said, "Who made this schedule? Who did this?"
Sounds like an athletic director's schedule, not a coach's schedule.
Here's the drive, and Kitley cleans it up inside the paint. Now Virginia Tech looking to move. Cayla King yet again, and Cayla King knocks it in.
Two great times to shoot threes. Once it goes inside out or in transition before the defense gets set. There you see the second.
Cayla King has been really the go-to find on that offensive end. Here at the top, it won't go off the mark for Hunt. And another rebound inside for Virginia Tech. Here's the quick pace Coach Brooks says they want to play with. And Taylor Soule scores for the first time as a Hokie.
She can fly.
Virginia Tech is stretching to an 8-point lead.
Tough matchup for Liz Kitley. 7 inches she's given away. You see in transition, wide open while the defense is not set, and then throwing over the top. Beautiful pass. Great job of running the floor by Taylor Soule, the transfer from Boston College.
You know, I thought maybe one of the most interesting parts, you go out and you get a lot of these transfers in that, and the question is, how are they going to mesh? How are they going to go? We asked Coach Brooks, he said, the type of kids we recruit, I had no question how this was going to go.
Yeah, and almost all these kids, Virginia Tech was involved in the recruiting process to start with. They also came here for one reason. They saw an opportunity to win big.
Held up down inside of the jump ball possession arrow will send it back over to the mount.
Either one of those players, Soule or Owusu, could be the best player on almost any team they chose to go to, but they chose to come and play with a Liz Kitley and a Georgia Amoore and a Cayla King.
The way college basketball goes sometimes, you don't see that happen too much nowadays, man.
No, and I think that's why Kenny Brooks is excited.
Right wing 3 is off, and the Mount is really struggling to be able to find some offense here now.
Yeah, I don't think Kenny Brooks gets enough credit for what he does on the defensive end. Everybody talks about the sets that he runs and how he really coaches his kids up to be really good on offense, but they do a really good job on the defensive end too.
Deja Gregg with the basketball will now clear it over to the right wing. There's a jumper thrown up by Taylor. Can't get it, but gets her own rebound down to the corner. Reverse layup, and off the side of the rim, it's denied. Oh, the steal and the putback. Cayla King yet again. She's having a monstrous first couple of minutes of this game.
Relentless energy.
Stolen away again. Struggling to be able to hold the basketball right now is the Mount. A whole bunch of these turnovers coming the way of Virginia Tech. And a little bit too much hand that time. A foul coming against the Mount. So many new faces for the Virginia Tech Hokies. We got a lot to get to, and we'll talk them all through coming up after this.
Seniors and those transfers, we've already talked about 2 of them quite a bit, and Clara Ford you're going to see pretty soon, I'm sure.
Virginia Tech right now with a 10-point lead, and they turn it over early on.
Cayla Trailer disagreed, but not vehemently. It's the first game for the officials, too.
Everyone's warm-up.
The fans are pretty good into it. I think they're further along than we are.
I got a long day today from Castle Coliseum. 2 games coming up here tonight. Virginia Tech men will play later on as an offensive foul comes against the Mount on the other side. That time, Ward lowered the shoulder.
Yeah, Charlize Dunn, one of those freshmen that we talked about from Victoria, Australia. A couple of Australians on this team, a couple of good Australians.
Yeah, they got that international flair with a couple of top players in this league. Is driving inside this time, Ashley Owusu, and a whistle comes against the Mount.
Yeah, Owusu is just so hard to stay in front of. She's got great skills, strong, really understands how to play. Watch this, shot fake, and gets to the paint. You get right there, something good is going to happen.
Did a real nice job for the free throw line while at Maryland, too. Shot 82% for the charity stripe. And she does get there. They go inside to Kitley, who's triple team. Now the dish out. And the three-point knockdown. Trailer that time. Hits her first triple.
That was the second best way, inside out. And the defense helps. You're wide open when you catch it on the perimeter.
Get the three-pointer, turn around, and get a nice defensive stop now. The jump ball, the possession will send it back to Virginia Tech.
This is textbook. Throw it inside, watch the defense turn her head, come back out, nobody within 10 feet of her.
Yeah, because that's something that having, obviously, the ACC Player of the Year from a season ago, you have to get so much respect, so much inside. It opens it up for those shooters.
100%. She's almost always going to draw 2 people.
Georgia Amoore dishes it. Jumper all the way, and it's off that time for Owusu, but a finish through. Coming down inside for Liz Kitley.
You know, and that's what happens when there's penetration. Someone has to help. You turn your eyes, and then there Kitley is on the offensive glass.
Kitley getting her first 2 points of today's ball game. She'll go to the charity stripe to try to make it a 3-point play.
She can score in so many different ways. She really shot the ball well earlier in her career from the free throw line. Last year to start in non-conference, she struggled a little bit, but really got it going in league play and got that percentage back up there where she wanted it, over 70.
Well, after the Mount came down there opening possession, we're able to get 2. They have not been able to score since, and this three-pointer won't go for Raffalo, but a rebound and a putback is off for Harrison, that is. Georgia Amoore directing the offense. Amoore, one of those old tournament team players in the ACC tournament a season ago, and a right wing 3 will be called off. She took an extra step that time.
Yeah, nice job that time by Isabella Hunt, switching off on Amoore, kept her feet moving, and Amoore just shuffled him a little bit, trying to get comfortable for that jumper. The Mount runs a little bit of Princeton offense, keeping an open middle, trying to get some back doors.
3 raining in from the top, but it won't go. This is a team that was fairly successful with a 3-pointer a season ago, but right now going cold so far the first couple of minutes of this first quarter. A whistle coming inside against the Mount again, and that's now going to be the 6th team foul coming against the Mount St. Mary.
Yeah, I think the Hokies' size is bothering a lot of the shots. Some of it maybe just nerves on the road, first game, that kind of thing, but the Hokies are much longer at almost every position on the floor. You saw some of the transition opportunity right there that we were talking about with the Owusu bringing it down. She literally is a point guard, but she can just play everywhere.
The first one won't go. Never works. Last possession down, I was talking about how good of a free throw shooter.
You did.
I did it.
You did.
On a lane violation, we'll take that free throw off and give the basketball back over to the Mount.
Yeah, and Owusu she was over 80% for her career at Maryland, and I would expect the same here in Blacksburg in ACC play.
The first 2 of the ball game for the Mount came in the first 30 seconds of the ball game. They have not been able to find it since offensively. Here's Harrison. Dishes back over to the top to Tomasetti. Now Harrison with a long-range three that's off.
Kayla Harrison, who we talked about in the open, is trying to get the team going.
This is a team, though, the Mount, that knows all about coming back in the second half. How about that NCAA tournament game against Longwood? They started off down big, came back and brought it back to a ball game in the second half. They played at the NCAA tournament in the first four for the first time for the women's side as a whistle comes inside. King will now go to the free throw line. Not only did they do it in the NAC, now they're going to try to do it in the MAC conference over there, a full member for the first time this year, and obviously it's a tight, tough conference on that side, Mac.
Yeah, it's a step up, and it'll be a bigger challenge to get back to the NCAA. But, of course, they've been back-to-back years, and they've got a lot of players with a lot of experience expected to be good in the MAC. I think they were picked 8th, but they have much higher expectations than that.
A lot of the people at home saying, okay, who's in the MAC? I'll tell you this, St. Peter's, who made that magnificent run of the NCAA tournament last year that got everyone looking. They're playing on the men's side. On the women's side, St. Peter's has kind of struggled a little bit on that. But after the free throws go, it's an 18-point lead for Virginia Tech early on in this first quarter. And another turnover will send it back over to the Hokies. Here's a look at the preseason right now. Quinnipiac getting 8 of those first place votes, but yeah, Monse Marins, I think they thought they were going to be a little bit higher than where they're listed in this preseason poll.
Hey, they'll use that chip on that shoulder.
Yeah. That's the old coach in you, right? Put some bulletin board material up. No one thinks we could do it as this one's passing around and got to be saved by the Hokies. 8 seconds to find a shot. They'll find it over to King. King trying to find another three-pointer. She does. Red hot.
The double team on Owusu. The pass opposite, beautiful skills right there by Ashley.
Led the ACC in three-point field goal percentage a season ago, and she's leading Virginia Tech right now with 13 points in this first quarter, and there's a much-needed three-pointer coming out of Kayla Harrison.
You would expect that out of the best player. Struggled a little bit, kept on shooting it.
Around the timeline they go, down to 24 seconds. They will have to get a shot off as 6 seconds separate the shot and game clock here in the last couple of seconds. And an offensive foul will give it back over to the Mount.
Far forward, another Boston College transfer, backup center, an outstanding player in her own right. Another Virginian, Vienna, up in Northern Virginia, just like Owusu.
Played in 91 games for Boston College. She joked a couple of weeks ago, it's a lot nicer coming to Castle Coliseum, being on the good side of things. The three-pointer is way off. It won't get a piece of the rim, and it will go back over to Virginia Tech. And that will end the first quarter underway. Virginia Tech off to a hot start.
And the Hokies have done it a lot of different ways. There's a quick ball reversal for the three-point shot. Now the transition. Head up, running the floor.
18-point lead for Virginia Tech, much in part to Cayla King, 13 points so far.
You saw her catch it out of the offense. You saw her catch it in transition. Now she's going to go get it on her own on the offensive glass and get a layup. And watch this. Out of the double team, she got the ball. Back to live action.
Back they go as a three-pointer range to start the second quarter, and it won't go. 3 for 5, had 145 threes coming into this ball game. That's 9th in the ACC a season ago, and a whistle comes inside a little too physical.
Yeah, this is one of the ways Taylor Soule is going to make a difference with this basketball team. We showed her running the floor earlier. She can score in a lot of different ways, but offensive glass, she's an outstanding offensive rebounder.
She'll go to the free throw line for the first time in today's ball game.
She actually had 94 offensive rebounds last year. She and Kitley, I think they were 1-2 in the league.
Been an all-ACC player for the last 3 consecutive seasons at Boston College. Baylor Soul puts it at a 19-point lead for Virginia Tech.
She won't take a lot of threes. You're going to see her operate mostly inside the arc, whether it be in transition or like we just showed there on the offensive glass.
Virginia Tech's go ahead and extending it to a 20-point lead. Well, the Mount limited to just 2 shots so far in that first half that went through. A 3-pointer out of Harrison, an early basket down inside the first 10 seconds into the ball game. There's a spin into the paint, and for the first time, Hunt going down inside.
Yeah, and that was a matchup caused by a switch on a ball screen. Amoore ended up on Isabella Hunt. Advantage, Isabella Hunt.
There's Liz Kitley back over to the top to Soul. Now they reverse it. Cayla King won't go. One of the rare couple of misses out of Cayla King early on to this ball game. Here's Harrison. She's deadly when you leave her open. A triple that time. Her second of the game.
37% from beyond the arc. Made more threes than anybody in the history of the school.
Yeah, Harrison, we talked about her in the beginning. She has been so electric. As this one's going to be knocked out of bounds, and it will go back over to the Mount. When you leave her open, she's about automatic, Coach White tells us.
Yeah, struggled a little bit early on, but you can see right there what she's done in her career and back for another season. You know Coach White loves that.
Says let them keep on going, keep on shooting it. Harrison, 2 of 6 from 3 so far in this ball game. So a 15-point lead right now for Virginia Tech. And drive down to the baseline. The defense of Traylor knocks it out of bounds and gives it back over to the Hokies.
Yeah, Cayla's a really good defender. Long arm, got a hand on that backdoor cut pass.
Amoore wide open to the top and knocks it through. Another triple coming through.
In a league with a lot of good point guards, she is in the conversation for among the best.
Back to an 18-point lead for Virginia Tech with 7:55 to go until halftime. Right in front of the other side of the free throw line, and it won't go. Here's Georgia Amoore quickly down the court. And a whistle coming against the Mount.
Watch this skill. Little crossover, create some space. Didn't recover quick enough, and Amoore made her pay. Pretty impressive, huh?
I was going to say, first, second, third, fifth, I'll take those numbers. There's Amoore over to the right wing. Now down inside to the player of the year, who gets it and goes to the line to try to make it another 3-point play.
Pass inside. Defense made the mistake on the high side. This Kitley is so efficient in there.
You can also see why Georgia Amoore was first in the conference in assists, too. She's got that little entry pass figured out down inside to her ACC Player of the Year.
Just so talented. There's really not much she can't do as a point guard. She's got the elusiveness, crafty with the ball, great vision, and with more confidence every single year.
Harrison crosses. Down corner 3. It's off. And a rebound coming down inside for Villaflor. Got us 7 seconds as that 3 did not get a piece of the rim. Drive, and Kitley blocks it out of there. The save, the reverse layup is up and good for Dunham. How about that, finishing the play?
Yeah, the freshman, they really like her out of Erie, Pennsylvania. Can do a little bit of everything. You see her hustle right there.
Here's Traylor. A jumper from the elbow for Georgia Amoore. Will that go? Ball on the ground. Taken by the Hokies. A little 2-on-1. No problem.
So fast with that left hand.
The Mount now looking to work quickly. 6:20 remains in this second quarter with a Virginia Tech lead of 21, the largest of the ballgame. And an offensive foul will send it back over to the Virginia Tech Hokies.
Got to be still on those screens.
It's the second one coming that time against Lindsey Husky. And that's where the Mount could run into some trouble. 6 fouls in that first quarter. They've got 4 fouls so far. They've got to be careful how many they're going to rack up in this ball game.
Yeah, both teams are good free throw shooting teams.
Amoore lets the 3 fly. It won't. That one bounced out of bounds. It will go back over to the Mount.
Big lead like this sometimes is tough to keep playing. You've got to concentrate on what you're supposed to be executing and continue to not worry about the score right now. You're competing against yourself.
Shot off that time for Matheny.
You want to play as well as you can play on each individual possession, whether it's executing on offense or playing together on defense.
Driving side, Inowosu draws the foul. Like, how much is this? We talked about the early season and what it looks like for the Mount, playing Richmond, playing NC State, a couple of teams in the top 15 of the country. How do you make sure a team like the Mount doesn't get discouraged early on of the season, plays through these ball games, and still is able to go into conference play with some momentum?
Yeah, we talked to Coach Weidel about that a little bit, and he says I try to give them some goals that they can look forward to just besides the score itself. It doesn't mean they're not competing and trying to win the basketball game, but it gives them some other things to concentrate on and not get focused on what the margin might be. This is kind of the worst case scenario.
Yeah, it's 1 of 2. There's a good look at it. Boy, watch out. Got a couple of top 10 teams in the country. Offensive foul will send it back over. I mean, that NC State team's for real.
Yeah, Richmond's awfully good. That's Coach White's going to know a lot about his team by the end of this stretch right here. Right there, Taylor Soule did a nice job of staying between her man and the basket and taking the charge. Virginia Tech's just been really good on the defensive end. The Mount has continued to execute on offense, and they're turning it over, but they just can't get many open looks. And when they've had those open looks, they've pressed a little bit.
Ashley Owusu back over to the top, almost loses the handle. Now Georgia Amoore lets it fly right through for the point guard.
What three-point line? Nowhere near the three-point line.
Georgia Amoore, Cayla King going back and forth, switching off. Who's going to put a couple through the basket early on? Drive in, and an offensive foul. That time we'll send it back over to the Virginia Tech Hokies. Early leaders here in Castle Coliseum. It's all Virginia Tech. He said that at the ACC Media Day. He said we recruit kids out of high school, and then we recruit our current team to keep them here with that transfer portal.
Sure, 24/7.
One of the big parts we talked about to start, these two teams very similar throughout last season, although in this ball game, the similarities don't mesh. Virginia Tech 6 of 12 from 3, and on the other side, the Mount struggling just 2 of 13 from 3. As a whistle comes down inside, you may notice too, the Mount lost 2 points during that last break. The officials went over to the replay monitor and determined that shot that they got off right before, they thought they got off right before the shot clock. No, they did not, and they took 2 points off the board.
Yeah, Carissa Dunham with a really nice play. Did not count. Seems almost cruel at this point, given the score. It's a little sloppy pass there from Amoore, trying to hit the trailer during transition. Nice job of overplaying by the Mount.
Getting the shot clock figured out. They get it with 28 seconds now on it.
Trying to get a little something from Michaela Harrison. Ashley Owusu doing a nice job of denying her the ball.
Right wing 3 won't go for Ruffalo, and a rebound down inside. Villaflor, give her credit down inside. She's been a physical player, getting a couple of rebounds. There's a jumper from the elbow, nowhere near. For the rebound and the putback that time for Tomasetti.
Smallest player on the floor came up with the loose ball. Great hustle by Jessica Tomasetti.
Here's Owosu, rather on the other side. That's where she is so effective. Owosu, a 6-foot senior that can bring the basketball down the court.
Yeah, a couple plays in the first quarter, she actually ran the point and they moved Amoore off the ball.
Such a weapon. Now they'll go over to Owosu. Behind the back, nice little move. Fadeaway jumper, and it's off. Knocked out of bounds, and it goes back over to the mound.
Didn't make the shots, but there are those one-on-one skills that we mentioned in the open.
Now, Owosu's got some really nice moves where she can cross in front, turn behind, fadeaway jumper. There's some really nice moves as guard.
As I watched her, the player on the men's side that she reminded me of was back, I'm going to date myself, but Adrian Dantley was like that. People just bounced off of him. And, she does a lot of the same things he did. Of course, he made a living in the NBA for a long time, scoring out of Notre Dame.
Not too bad. Raffalo hit in that three-pointer that time, but it makes it 37-15. The Mount getting a couple of back-to-back baskets now. Owosu, one of those transfers that's been so solid in her opening debut. Is the same can be said about Taylor Soule. This one stolen away.
Nice play by Isabella Hunt on the defensive end, knocking that ball away.
You get an All-American, say, hey, you want to join the Hokies? Coach Brooks said it was a pretty good day when he got that phone call.
Just got such great length.
6'6" frame. There's nobody on the mound that can match up to that. An offensive foul will send it back over to the Virginia Tech Hokies. This one coming against Isabella Hunt, who will pick up her second.
Hunt's been involved in a lot of things. She's a good player, undersized post at only 5'11". But she is scrappy. The Mound extended the defense a little bit, trying to get some things going, trying to create a little pace and get the offense going a little bit.
A little more than 2.5 to go until halftime. And this time an offensive foul will send it back the other way as Liz Kitley was moving.
Yeah, that probably is the one complaint that Coach Brooks will have. See this right here? Kitley trying to create that position, rides her man up the lane.
Kind of hooked the arm a little bit. Is that it?
Didn't see a whole lot there.
Might have been one of those send it back the other way after we missed one on one side.
Does that happen?
You tell me. You're the coach. Drive inside. It won't go that time for Tomasetti. A whistle coming on the rebound against the Mountain. So it puts them into the bonus. Virginia Tech will be shooting for the next 2 minutes and 6 seconds.
The one thing I was talking about a minute ago that Coach Brooks might not be happy with, I think that's 12 turnovers now on the Hokies. And that's about the number you would want to have for the game. And he's got them here in the first half. I'm sure he's going to be talking about that at halftime. There won't be a whole lot of things that he can gripe about, but that would be one that he will.
Free throws up and good. How about the defense? He kept telling us that's my big emphasis throughout this offseason. What have you seen out of the Virginia Tech defense so far?
I think he's going to be pleased. They've gotten hands on balls. They've taken charges. They haven't allowed many second shots. They haven't put them on the free throw line almost at all. So I think overall he's going to be pretty pleased with the defensive effort.
Both those two free throws fly through. 39-15. Number 13 team in the country, Virginia Tech, opening their season here at home. And the Mount lets one fly. That's off. That time Harrison misses.
Yeah, the Mount hasn't been to the free throw line at all.
Only 2 total fouls coming against Virginia Tech as Cayla King's three won't go. Fight for the rebound. It'll whistle coming.
There's that, again, talking about the offensive rebounds that Taylor Soule is going to be able to get. Deep three by King. Soule being very active. Look how far she goes to get that ball. Then draws the foul. Raffalo didn't think so. Thought she had a clean block from behind. Sol's going to need to be a good free throw shooter because she's going to be able to get to the line a lot. She's involved in plays where there's a lot of traffic, whether it be in transition, finishing at the rim, or on the offensive glass.
Sol perfect from that free throw line. Continues that route. 4 for 4. Couple of free throws right through, and Virginia Tech continues their nice first half lead. Quick timeout there for the Mount to be able to talk it through. 41-15, Virginia Tech leads. Just a minute 30 to go. We'll be joined by Coach Kenny Brooks at the halftime break as the drive in and the whistle coming that time. Natalie Villaflor will go to the free throw line for the first time today.
Another Virginia native, Leesburg, Virginia, another Northern Virginia girl. Transferred from Robert Morris, did a good job right there putting the ball on the floor. She's going to be a productive player for the Mount.
Had 387 points during her time at Robert Morris.
We've talked a lot about the Virginia Tech transfers, but these three are going to play key roles for Coach White this season for sure.
Almost stolen away, but King gets it back.
Mount continuing to play with a lot of energy on the defensive end.
Corner 3. He's off the mark that time for King. And a rebound coming down inside for the Mount St. Mary. Amoore gets her hand on it. Knocks it out of bounds. Man, these two teams defensively tenacious on either side of it. And Georgia Amoore, just hard-nosed physical player, gets in that passing lane.
All fall, you've been playing against each other. You finally get to play against somebody else. You're going to be excited, and that energy is going to show itself. And it is here for both squads tonight.
The three-pointer, top of the key, right through the line drive shot from Athene. Finds the bottom of the net that time at another triple. The Mount now 4 of 17 from 3. 2 of those coming out of Harrison, and then Athene gets her first. The same can be said for Rafflo, who gets 1.
Good shooters keep on shooting.
There's a good shooter, Amoore. He's got a wide open lane, and the layup is up and in.
Old school, give and go. Delay a game warning.
Just a warning. Cover that time. It's Virginia Tech.
That was really old school. Pass it, cut to the basket. Classic give and go.
Shot clock turned off. Final possession here. 9 seconds remain until halftime. The Mount trying to go into that halftime break with a little bit of a spark. Down to 2 seconds. They got it to Harrison. She doesn't know when the half's going to end. They did not get the shot off that time. Harrison didn't see the clock. And a 43-19 lead right now for Virginia Tech. They started hot, and they continue hot so far in this first half right now back.
Yeah, did a little bit of everything good. Obviously, Cayla King got him going in the scoring area, but then everybody was contributing.
Boy, they come out over Bethune-Cookman.
113 points against Air is pretty good. Holy cow.
I would not have 113 in me. It's Georgia Amoore. Get this offense going now for Virginia Tech. Owusu around the timeline, down inside Kitley's double teamed. A little bit too far that time on the other side of the rim.
Yeah, good job defensively that time by the Mountain. They go to the other end and just throw it out of bounds.
Too many turnovers on either side. Both coaching staffs, I'm sure something they mentioned at the halftime break.
Yeah, the Mount forced turnovers, but they didn't get many points. Only 2 points off the turnovers. The Hokies, on the other hand, forced 13 and got 17 points off those turnovers, as you saw on our halftime graphics.
Add another one to that turnover mark. So now 13 turnovers for Virginia Tech, 14 turnovers for the Mount. Amoore, Owusu, King, Sol, Kitley, all out there. Get it started in the second half. This one high off the glass. Isabella Hunt finds the first 2 points of the second half for the Mounds.
She did a lot of good things in the first half. Again, we talked, she's given away 7 inches against Kitley. Got in foul trouble, had 3 fouls in that first half, but she really caused some problems. That was a nice take one-on-one.
Owusu finds Kitley, who finds the basket, and now the free throw line. Liz Kitley has been a matchup problem down inside for the Mountain. Here again, Owusu calls for the double team, and then it leaves Kitley open.
Yeah, we talked about that. She creates help when she drives, leaving Kitley open there or open to get the rebound if Owusu shoots the ball.
Free throw good, making it another 3-point play for Liz Kitley, who's got herself on to double figures now. She's up to 11 points. Left wing 3, right through for Harrison. Don't let her get hot.
9 points for one of the top 10 scorers of all time at the Mount.
Here's one of those situations right there where Owusu brings the ball down the court, kind of leaves Georgia Amoore a shot to be able to be more of that shooting guard presence. As a skip pass to Kitley skips out of bounds.
Yeah, not a great spacing job right there. Sol took the dribble, thought she could bounce it inside to Kitley, but even if Kitley had caught the ball, there was a lot of traffic right there. Probably Coach Brooks would like to see a little more spacing. Isabella Hunt went one-on-one again. Couldn't get by Kitley that time.
Tomasetti giving it back over to Villaflor. Down to 8 seconds to find a shot now. Here's Harrison down to the corner. 3-pointers thrown out, but it won't go for a Hunt as Kitley got her hand on it. Now Kitley's down to the ground.
Well, one-on-one, Cayla King against Michaela Harrison really did a good job, and then the ball got skipped to the other side of the floor. Kitley blocks the shot, then tries to get the ball, and friendly fire. Taylor Sol.
See Taylor Sol with the, oh no. I just put the player of the year on the conference down on the court on our own team as that one's pure right through for Owusu.
Yeah, that'll be a rule. Don't hit Kitley.
She probably, you got to be wearing the red jersey, kind of like quarterback out there. In practice, I'm sure. So whistle on the other end will keep the basketball down inside for the Mound. Down by 24. Like I said, went through kind of a tough spot after the first minute of the game. Those next 9 minutes were rough offensively for the Mound, and now they've been kind of trying to get themselves back up the battle. They're a second half team, though. We talked a little bit about it in the first half. Played the first four of the NCAA women's tournament as Harrison won't get that one to roll against Longwood and trailed in that game. Came back down by 22. Ended up shooting 70% in the second half, and they fell in that ball game 74-70. And Coach White said, the one thing I'm happy about it, we dressed just 7 players for that NCAA tournament. He's got 7 sitting on the bench right now at least.
They were shorthanded through the tournament and all the way into the NCAA, and like you said, gave a valiant effort in that first round game.
He said, we can't foul because if we foul out, we can't play 5. There's a whistle coming against the Mound on the far side. That one's coming against number 15, Lindsey Husky. That's going to be her first team second of this third quarter.
She had a big game in the ACC last year, had 17 at Clemson. Coming off the bench for the Mount.
Amoore with another turnover that time of the trial.
Just a little bit too much of a hurry.
Is that early season jitters? Is that what that is, you think, Matt?
I think just trying to make things happen.
Kitley denies the drive that time of Hunt. It's a stop pop, shot up, bouncing around and through for Raffalo.
Nice shot with Kitley in her face.
Pulls it within 18 now.
Presbyterian transfer.
Right wing 3, Cayla King, right where she left off.
They could put the NBA three-point line out there. It would not affect her whatsoever.
Back it up. Back it up. Cayla King continues firing with those triples. Here's Liz Kitley, who continues with the blocks. as Liz Kitley's now 5th block in this ballgame.
We talked about it being a lock for a double-double. We may be looking for a triple-double. It's a nice job keeping her body away from Isabella Hunt so that she can block the ball without making contact.
Reset it at the top now with Harrison.
Traylor in the game, now guarding Harrison. Traylor did a good job. 7 points in the first half, but really did a nice job defensively against Harrison.
Tenacious back and forth. Here's Hunt for 3, and it won't go. And down comes Traylor now to bring it. Guarded heavily this time by Tomasetti. She's got to get past half court, and she does. This defense has been solid for the Mount throughout the entirety of this game, really. Now, Virginia Tech's hit some shots. They've gone down inside. They've used that presence, and they've hit some threes down the stretch, but there's a lapse in defense. And making them pay is Cayla King yet again. Such good fundamentals. Feet ready, hands ready. She caught the ball ready to shoot it in perfect rhythm. There's a skip pass down inside, off the glass, help the basket.
Beautiful back door right there for Kayla Harrison. That's part of their offense right there. Give it a little Princeton look. Everybody up above the free throw line. Look for the back cut, and that time she beat Cayla King.
Cayla Harrison up to now 11 points in this ball game.
See everybody lifted. Nobody there for help side. And Harrison beat King one-on-one.
Checking in for your Hokies, number 35, Taylor King.
Harrison, an unbelievable free throw shooter, 95% for her career, 94 plus.
The full court pressure coming. It's time for the Mount. Taylor Soule helps Georgia Amoore break that press. Pass half court they go. Halfway through this third quarter. Virginia Tech with a 15-point lead as the jumper won't go. Off the mark that time for Kitley. The rebound for Taylor Soule, who will earn him the hard time now. To the free throw line goes Taylor Soule. On the other side of this media timeout, Virginia Tech with the lead in the Open AA tournament. And that's much in part to what Coach Kenny Brooks has been able to do with this program. He's turned and flipped the script here at Virginia Tech.
It's a storybook thing. You know, picked 13th in his first year here, didn't inherit much of anything. Took that and made something of it, finished much better right away. But look at this year. Picked 13th in the country, the highest preseason ranking ever for Virginia Tech women's basketball.
No matter where he's gone, whether it be James Madison, here at Virginia Tech, he's turned around programs, got him to some of the best seasons that these teams have ever seen as that free throw goes, and it makes it a 56-29 lead. Here's the fast break. Taylor Soule lays it in.
You know, back on Kenny Brooks, you talked about him flipping things here. He flipped the whole league in the Colonial. It was Old Dominion's league, and it became James Madison's league.
Another steal, and Soule yet again, back to back. Taylor Soule sends Virginia Tech to 60 points.
Did we mention she was pretty athletic?
She could jump or pass her too, back-to-back times into the passing lane. Taylor Soule, a double-digit performance in her debut for the Hokies, 12 points. And a foul coming down inside, but Soule into the passing lane and onto the basket.
Beats everybody to the other end easily. Good defense, creates easy offense. That leads to pretty high percentage shot, doesn't it, partner?
Yeah. Yeah, will help you sleep at night when you get someone like Taylor Soule at the top of that defense who so long gets into the passing lane. Got a full court pressure coming out of the Mount yet again. And it's Ashley Owusu who gets it past half court for Virginia Tech.
Yeah, she can run the offense. Very, very talented.
Right wing threes up and off the side of the rim, denied that time. The trailer. And a whistle inside coming against the Mountain will pick up their team's 5th foul.
Taylor Gaiman into the game, moving Owusu over to the point.
Skip pass just out of the reach that time of Kitley, and it sends it back over to the Mount.
And Coach Brooks won't be happy with that. Here at Virginia Tech, one thing they're known for is special teams in football. And
that's right.
Coach Brooks prides himself on special situations, baseline out of bounds, sideline. And that time they made a mistake and threw it out of bounds.
Well, the 3rd team foul coming against Virginia Tech, and that's the 2nd one coming against Taylor Soule.
That's been a big part of this game we haven't talked a lot about, but the Hokies have scored 14 points from the free throw line, while Mount St. Mary's only 2.
Taylor Soule's day may be coming to an end. Deasia Gregg checks into the lineup now for the Hokies.
The Georgia Tech transfer. Really a high IQ player. Really knows how to play, can play multiple positions.
Played in 32 games last season coming off the bench.
She can step out and shoot the ball, but she can get down there on the block and battle physically too. She's a really valuable member of this team.
Full court pressure continues for the Mount. Continuing past half court is Ashley Owusu. Down and Trailer gets it. Here's Owusu driving into the lane now. Lets a floater go right in front of the free throw line. Pure right through.
That's a new dimension. That mid-range game right there is something that Owusu brings to the table for Kenny Brooks.
33-point lead for Virginia Tech, who's continued their sharp first half. Stolen away. Owusu, 2-on-1, beats him down, and to the hoop she goes.
And again, good defense by Trailer, converted into an easy 2 points on the other end by Owusu.
Virginia Tech dominating that, points coming off turnovers. 21 points coming off turnovers now for Virginia Tech. The drive in is too hard off the glass. Coming this time for Villaflor. Right wing 3. Off. Diamond gets her on rebound. Here's Trailer. She finds 2 points of her own. Virginia Tech continues offensively on a run now, 8-0 run.
Yeah, I mentioned it earlier. Trailer, an all Big Ten player coming off the bench. What an embarrassment of riches, as Kenny Brooks called it.
Taylor that time answers on the other side for the Mount with a 3-pointer of her own. It stops the cold streak. Over 4 minutes that time for the Mount, not being able to find a basket. With Liz Kitley, double teamed, and to the free throw line she goes after being fouled down inside.
Already 5 for 5 from the free throw line.
15 foul. Checking in for Conyers, number 2, Maya Ward. And number 12, Gianna Hodgman.
A couple of new faces coming in for Coach White. Mia Ward, as well as Gianna Hodgman coming in. Here's Kitley gets her first.
Ward a transfer from Austin Peay.
As Kitley's got herself up to 13 points as she'll check out of this ball game, most likely for the final time tonight. First opportunity to be able to see Clara Ford, the 6'3" senior forward out of Boston College. Right wing 3's off for Villaflor, and a fight for that rebound down inside will result in a timeout. Timeout taken by Coach Antoine White. Gets it to go ahead and continue the basketball, that time with the Mount. We're leading back from Castle Coliseum, taking a look at what's happening across the ACC. Liz Kitley, we've been talking about, preseason player of the year, but how about that? 5 teams in the top 13 of the Associated Press top 25. That's impressive for this league.
Yeah, you can make the argument it's the best women's league in the country. I'm sure some other
Virginia Tech to start with the basketball now after the turnover coming from the Mount. Here's a turnover to give it back over to the Mount.
Interesting lineup out here with Diamond and Trailer. Greg and forward off the bench, and Owusu out there from the starting group.
There's Harrison with a 3.
Owusu can't give her that much room.
Spot up 3 that time for Harrison.
15 points now with 4 threes.
Here's Guyman. Owusu now. Driving down to the baseline, put a shoulder in, and an offensive foul coming against the Virginia Tech transfer.
Go at the top of the key. Owusu with the short closeout. Got to be ready to get over the top. She made her pay. Nice play by Michaela Harrison.
Arna Taylor running point. Down to 7 seconds, and that shot clock turned off. Last time the Mount struggled to get a shot off before the quarter end. This time a foul will send him to the free throw line to shoot 2 with 2.4 left.
Villaflor has shown some skills. Doesn't have necessarily a lot of points to show for it, but he's going to be a good player for Mount St. Mary's moving forward into the MAAC.
First one's up and through for Villaflor. Senior guard. It's the second one. It pulls it to a 31-point lead for Virginia Tech. The half-court heave is off the mark, and Virginia Tech leading 68-37.
Virginia Tech continuing to show diversity on the offense. Dribble handoff for the 5th 3 for Cayla King. Taylor Soule turns defense into offense.
Under control. Asana makes work easier for your team, so you can focus on all the things that matter instead of just worrying about work. Make work work for you with Asana.
Well, an experienced group for Coach Kenny Brooks here this season. How about our great graphics department? 17,667 minutes. Let's take that as a coach, right?
Yeah, that's why Kenny Brooks has black hair. Even though he's got a little gray in the beard, but he's not gray-headed yet because he's got all this experience coming back and fantastic athletes like that.
Back and forth goes Soule and Amoore. Let's get another 2 for Virginia Tech, up to 70 points put up by this Virginia Tech offense so far with 9.5 to go in the ballgame. Drive in is off that time for Harrison. And Virginia Tech will go to try to extend their lead, which they have held for the entirety of this ball game. Started it with that 3-pointer to start and haven't looked back since. Kitley with the fadeaway. Right through.
The high school teammates hooking up. I think they've done that before.
Yeah.
King to Kitley.
Villaflor last second gives it over to Hunt. Now Hunt fires a 3 that's off. The Mount have struggled so far for 3, just 7 of 25 in this ballgame. Their highest scoring totals, though, so far in a quarter came back in the third quarter where they put up 18. Taylor Soule with a right wing 3 that's off. Back as this one goes out of bounds.
Watch this athleticism. Running the floor, Amoore catches a little lob. And then if you front Kitley on one side, she's going to be open on the other side. Really nice job of ball reversal and dumping it inside.
Driving for Tomasetti and down to the right wing, and she fed to Hunt. Hunt goes up for 2 points.
That's really nice. Isabel Hunt, we talked about her being an undersized post player. She's going to cause a lot of people problems, especially those that are not 6'6" or 6'7". But she's had a little bit of success against Kitley inside.
Here's a long-range King. You betcha. She's firing on all cylinders tonight. Cayla King yet again, and Virginia Tech a 75-39 leader. We're from Blacksburg, Virginia, as a foul comes inside.
Nice job right here. Shot fake, protect the ball with the body. And then on the other end, dribble penetration, kick it back out. There's Cayla King again.
Hunt gets it blocked out of there, and then we'll go back over to Virginia Tech now after the whistle comes against the Mount.
And that'll be all for Hunt.
Hunt's fifth. So just after we were saying the game that she's had, she's got 3 rebounds down inside, her 5th foul to go along with her 6 points she added in. And now it's going to be called more upon Natalie Villaflor. And that inside presence, as well as Mackenzie Matheny checks back into the ballgame for Coach Antoine White. Georgia Amoore drives and picks up the foul.
You know, you might wonder why some of the starters are back in for Virginia Tech, but what Coach Kenny Brooks is doing now, he's looking at the different combinations like we talked about in the first half. Who can play well with whom, and who complements each other, and who can execute with different combinations out there on the floor.
And a 5th foul coming against the Mounts Matheny. They're going to run into some foul trouble. They were foul heavy, especially in that first and second quarter, and that takes another one of the big post players inside out of the lineup now for Coach White.
Yeah, and they were a little short-handed in that regard anyway. You just have to give so much attention to Kitley down low.
No one else sits with 4. There is 3 fouls against Joe Rafflo on the other side for the Mound. Otherwise, there's someone in the clear with 7:03 remaining. Here is Rafflo, and it won't go. Rebound inside for Cayla King. A couple of foul outs already. Saw that foul-heavy first half resulted in that. And here's a foul-heavy shot. Cayla King takes the 3 and goes to the free throw line for the old 4-point play.
So you've got to close out. You're late. And King, watch your eyes. Always on the rim.
So Camille Ward was trying to get over there in a hurry. Got over there a little bit too late as King was still in the air and was knocked down over to the ground. It's going to be Ward's 4th. And trying for the old 4-point play.
Not old-fashioned, right?
Yeah.
7 for 13 now from beyond the arc for Cayla King.
Off the front, that one won't go. And Cayla King having a night tonight.
It was a nice job. That was called a sideline break after a free throw right there, where you kick it up the sideline and the next player down the floor runs right down the middle, and they almost pulled it off. Good execution right there by Coach White's group.
All right, down to the baseline. Too long, 5 seconds. Had to get away. Tomasetti did not. And it will go back over to Virginia Tech. Yet another turnover. Now the 22nd turnover coming against the Mount. Back to the full court pressure. Amoore with no problem dribbles around. Kitley with a little range. Liz Kitley.
She's been working on it.
And into the passing lane yet again. Here's Soul. Wide open. The lay-in. Taylor Soul with the runway and the delivery.
Soul got a little bit of the net right there.
There's a right wing 3, and the answer very quickly. Villaflor slows it down for the Mount.
The Virginia native knocking down a nice 3.
Yeah, I think Coach White saw what you saw. He was talking to the official. Hey, what's up with grabbing the net like that? Typically, that could result in a call. Here's a foul coming against the Mount.
This is a set play. She usually comes off a shuffle cut. The defender went into the lane waiting on her, and instead she's popping out for the three.
As Liz Kitley, hits the three. She used every bit of that three-point line. The Cayla King three is about 5 feet behind. Right up there on the line. Rightfully so. Natalie Villaflor will take a seat. Here's a Clara Ford three-pointer. And it's raining tonight in the opening round for Cayla King. Game 1. And what a game for Cayla King.
You can start checking the record books, partner.
Yeah. Cayla King is having a heck of a game to welcome herself to the 2022-23 season. 8 seconds to shoot, and the shot nowhere near will be rebounded by Virginia Tech. Not again, as this one's off the mark. Taylor Soule gives it right back. They're just feeding it to Clara Ford. She drives in. Clara King, that is, and she is going to be fouled. On to the free throw line will go Cayla King.
King says, I can do more than shoot the three.
Checking in for your Hokies, number 11,
Yeah, Cayla King, we showed you that graphic a little bit. Averaged 6 points last season. She scored almost 6 points in every single quarter. She's up to 28 points in this ball game.
Nice way to kick off your senior season, right?
Yeah, have a game. Had a season high of 15 points against George Mason last year. A career high, you see right there, of 29 versus Pitt. And she is a free throw away from tying that right now.
Yeah, and her impact is so much bigger than her stats. And tonight it would be hard to be bigger than her stats. But, you know, she's such a threat all the time. She stretches the defense, and that helps open up Kitley and others inside.
And a career day for Cayla King continues. 30 points for her. Wow, what a performance tonight. Checking in is Trailer to get back into this lineup. Virginia Tech, 89 points, nearing that 90-point total. So I was wrong. Not 6 points in that second quarter. It was a slow second quarter, but boy, has it been a monstrous first and fourth. Can she do it again? She can! Cayla King! Are you kidding me? 33 for the senior. Cayla King welcoming in a new season in a big way. 33 points, a new career high. She has been hard to find a shot to miss so far in this second half, fourth quarter especially, Matt.
And done it a little bit of every way possible, you know, in transition or after penetration or dribble handoffs, but she has caught it shot ready, and you see this anytime you watch them practice, but this is new territory in a game for Cayla King.
All right, so the Hokies in the bout have 4:23 remaining in the opening game. The women's college basketball season. Down to 10 seconds. There's a drive off glass. And that time, Kiana Trailer finds the backboard and finds two. And a whistle coming this time. We'll go ahead and send an opportunity for Cayla King to get a curtain call on one of a historic night for her. She just broke the most three-pointers in a single game by a Virginia Tech Hokie here tonight. She's had tremendous numbers, 33 points, 9 three-pointers. A great night for her and a great night for the Hokies. Stolen away, open lane. Rawusu, a good night for her as well.
Yeah, nice defensive play by Rawusu. We haven't talked a lot about her on the defensive end, but she's been very solid.
She's got herself 9. Here's a three at the top of the key. That's off the back of the rim, and it's off. Quickly in transition, and it won't go. Traylor that time, and a rebound inside for the Mount. Virginia Tech trying to get to triple digits. Get over the 100 mark. It's a backdoor cut, but a whistle coming first against the Hokies.
4 newcomers on the floor. Well, Guyman replaces Traylor. I guess Greg and Guyman. Three new folks on the floor, freshmen and a couple of transfers for Virginia Tech.
The dish and the 3. That's off. It's time for Jamison. A lot of contact down inside as Dunn's trying to get it past the double team. She does break the full court press. Owusu. Here's Geierman trying her range, and that one's just short. Whistle coming against the Mount on the rebound this time. This is going to be the team's 6th now. They'll send Virginia Tech to the free throw line. It will send Dunn specifically.
Release the freshman. Kind of a stretch 4 for you folks who haven't seen her play much or read a lot about her. Very skilled. She got here last January, so she's been with the team a little bit longer, but didn't see any action last year.
It's her first couple of points in a Hokie jersey. Full court pressure continues. And a jump ball will keep it with Virginia Tech. Full court pressure continues. The Mount not giving it in. Coach White wants to continue to see presence out of his team as this one is saved down on the baseline by Dunn, and the Hokies will continue.
Give Owusu a chance to kind of run the team at the point guard spot. She's been out there quite a few minutes tonight, spelling Amoore.
Here's 4 seconds. Spin and an offensive foul. Use your shoulder a little bit too much. How about the ball handling skill of Owusu? I mean, she's got a knack for that at the top of the key. Better than spun anybody in the game with the way she moves around with the ball.
Just really talented individually on the offensive end. You know, we talked about her versatility, playing multiple positions, but just playing somebody one-on-one and getting your own shot, she might be the best on this team.
The Mount, having not scored for the last 2 minutes, is trying to find something inside, and they can't as this one rolls from the rim and into the hands of Virginia Tech. Back running point now is Georgia Amoore. Good junior presence for the Hokies. 6 seconds to spare. Dunn uses the backboard.
Look at the bench.
They love it. And the Hokies are over the triple-digit mark. 101-42. Virginia Tech, the number 13 team in the country, is looking like they live up to that number 13 ranking. Eight seconds left to find a shot. Well, Mac, both coaches came in, said they wanted to get a couple of things done, a couple of things checked off as the foul comes that time. If you're Coach White, 101-42, no injuries that we see to speak of so far. What do you think is going through his mind right now?
Well, I'm sure he's disappointed with some of what they did, but really they executed better offensively than the stats will say they did. They were able to get some shots, and then those shots were affected by longer athletic players for Virginia Tech. And I think the biggest thing he takes from a positive standpoint is they have continued to fight like crazy on both ends, especially on defense. Sometimes when the shots aren't going in, your defense suffers pretty badly. But they've continued to play hard on defense even when they haven't had any success on the offensive end.
They were checking if it was a 3 or if it was a 2, and they determined it was a 3 as his first free throw's up and good. All right, let me flip it on you. Coach Brooks now. He had things he wanted to check off, opening game, going against the Mount. What's going through his mind, in your opinion?
Well, I think he liked spots of everything. You know, they showed some ability to go in transition. They showed some ability to rebound offensively. That's two things that he thought they'd be better at, and they were. I think he'd be pretty pleased with the defense for the most part. I think the only real gripe he's got is probably they were a little sloppy with the basketball. Just too many turnovers. When you have that many turnovers against a team you're better than, he's not going to be real happy about that part of it.
Here's Dunn with a right wing 3 that's up, no good that time. A rebound coming inside for Owusu.
And even that with Coach Brooks, they had 12 at halftime. They've only had 7 turnovers here in the second half.
You're at the top. Now with the basketball is Hilda. 14.9 seconds remain. Shot clock turned off in this ball game. Virginia Tech going to get 1-0 on the season. Mount St. Mary's will start this tough stretch 0-1. And a tough one tonight against the number 13 team in the country.
Offensive foul right there gives it back to Virginia Tech with 14 seconds left.
Amoore dribbles it out. The Hokie fans to their feet. Coach Kenny Brooks and the Virginia Tech Hokies are 1-0. The Mounts will fall in this ball game. The final 101-45. Well, some of the big storylines so far. The Hokies know what they got to clean up. The turnover battle on that side. They know what they got, too, in Cayla King, and that is a weapon offensively.
Yeah, it really is. And you can make the argument that she might be the 5th offensive weapon they would go to.